Hey everybody, this is a clip from the latest episode of the Randi Rhodes Show. If you want the full episode, you can watch live on Free Speech TV, Dish Channel 9415, DirectTV 348, Sling, Roku, and AppleTV.
Mary had a little man.
The fault. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
Believe me.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show.
Turn up your mind.
One of the landmark buildings down in the financial district, 40 Wall Street. Did you have any damage, or did you know what's happened down there?
Well, it was an amazing phone call I made. 40 Wall Street actually was the second tallest building in downtown Manhattan, and it was actually, before the World Trade Center, was the tallest. And then when they built the World Trade Center, it became known as the second tallest, and now it's the tallest.
Oh, good God. Hi, everybody. Happy Friday, you bastards. You okay? You okay? All right, good. Stay strong. This is the 19th anniversary of 9/11, the day that we commemorate and we look back on, and we thought it was the worst thing that could ever happen. No longer. No. Think about where we are right now. Just think about all that's going on right now. California, Oregon, Washington State. It looks like Mars. Have you seen these photos? Like they're like orange Mars landscapes. You had 500,000 people having to evacuate in Oregon yesterday. That's like that's like a tenth of the entire population of the state having to evacuate, right? You got heat waves, 121 degrees in Los Angeles. You got hurricanes, derechos in freaking landlocked states, Iowa, right? We got a pandemic. We're in the middle of it. We got our Sturgis bump. Yay! We got our and job loss and evictions underway, and white supremacy being the number one threat America faces now, 19 years later, and constant chaos and a lying sack of crap as the president. And on top of it, we're probably looking at a constitutional crisis. Woohoo! Hey, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You better stay strong. You better hang in there, because here's where we are as far as death. 9/11, 3,000 people perished on that day, more or less. And everybody was like, oh my God, wow, oh my. And here, if you take the count that we have, 192,443 lost souls, lost moms, dads, grandparents, children, aunts, uncles, brothers, right? If 192,443 dead Americans because a man was too lazy to do anything to, stem the. That is 63 9/11s. Oh my God. I mean, even the death cult has to understand that is 63 9/11s. That it is more than the amount of people we lost in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Vietnam, in Korea, combined. Oh my God. So it's like if we had one 9/11 every single day until November 17th, 63 days from now, and it just kept on going. You know why it's not as shocking and horror, because it's not as photogenic as 9/11. It doesn't, you can't capture it on the morning TV that way. You can't capture a whole bunch of Saudis and a couple of guys from the UAE, oh yeah, slamming airplanes into the World Trade Center tower, North and South Tower, slamming an airplane into the Pentagon, and then the Let's Roll crew, right? See, Americans, Donald Trump can't tell us the truth because America panics. Can you imagine what went on that Shanksville flight? Can you imagine? No one freaking panicked, okay? They said, this is it. We need to be on the right side of history. This plane is going into the freaking White House. It's going into, we know where they're going. Time to roll. Time to do this. And they crashed their own damn plane so that history could be influenced by their heroism. But Donald Trump is too afraid to tell you that we have a virus that you need to be careful of, that you need to keep social distance, that you need to wash your hands and wear a face mask. It's just too frightening. I mean, this is such bull crap. I can't even stand it. And I just watch every day another 1,200 people dead, another 1,200 people. You know, it's like Murder by Numbers. Do you know that song? If you don't, go listen to it, by the Police. Murder by Numbers. Oh. That's Donald Trump. That's him. I wish I could play music. I can't. But can you imagine? Like, we had one of the dumbest presidents, we thought, in the history of the world, George W. Bush, standing on top of a pile of rubble, saying the whole world will hear us now, right? And the people that brought down these buildings will hear from us all, right? If Donald Trump had to stand on a pile of rubble for a photo op for COVID, he'd have to stand on those mass graves at Potter's Field and a whole bunch more just like them. That's what we're dealing with. And the only problem, not photogenic. That's why. Although Trump would not even been trying to say the right things. There's no way. I mean, you know, he would have blamed this. See this pile of rubble? Democratic governors did this. I mean, if you gave him the opportunity to stand on 32,000 dead bodies, you know, in New York, that's how many died there, and blame Cuomo, he'd do it. He would happily do it. He would, of course, gleefully do it. But it's just, it's so amazing. So last night, what does this COVID intense president do? What does he do? He has a freaking 5,000 person rally in Michigan with no social distancing and no face masks. You couldn't have a better super spreader event. You couldn't have one except for Sturgis. Now remember, you know, there's a lag between the actual event, that is the super spreader event, the onset of disease, hospitalizations, and finally death. So if you time out Sturgis, it's going to be like just in time. The lag between infection and hospitalization and death, it will be just in time for the election. So is he telling his death cult because he knows he's going to lose, that they didn't do it for him and so they should die too? And so he's gathering them around to, you know, drink the virus instead of the Kool-Aid. It's, it's a virus. It's so weird. It's like he's killing them too, because they won't be enough to put him over the top. They won't be enough to get him reelected, and so he's punishing them now. It's just so creepy. I don't know. We're 52 days away from the election, and he doesn't mind infecting his legions at these rallies. I don't know, as long as they survive long enough to vote. But he knows in his head it's not going to be enough to put. I don't know. It's just. But here's what the president actually is doing. This is what he's doing. These are his own freaking words. This is frightening, but this is literally what he said.
You have people. I watch some of the shows. I watched Liz McDonald. She's fantastic. I watched Fox Business. I watched Lou Dobbs last night, Sean Hannity last night, Tucker last night, Laura. I watched Fox and Friends in the morning. You watch these shows, you don't have to go too far into the details. They cover things that are, it's really an amazing thing.
The president watched 6 hours of Fox News. 6 hours. No wonder he has a skewed sense of reality. I mean, the only time that this president isn't watching Fox is when he's on Fox, and I'm sure he's watching it then too. He's so busy, everybody. He's so busy, doing things, watching television and infecting his base. This is so freaky. I can't, and then he had the nerve to tell us last night at this rally that he's right up there with FDR and Churchill. Winston Churchill, who, after the Blitzkrieg, after the bombing of London, everybody remembers Winston Churchill standing up and telling the British people it is what it is, right? Right? Now,